Are you sitting in a space where you are struggling with anxiety? Do you feel like a prisoner to the cycles of depression? Do you feel stuck in your own life and feel frustrated and lost, but yet you know there is so much more on the other side of this mental breakdown? I want to hold your hand through this therapeutic life healing journey. I will help you navigate emotional healing, spiritual growth, and taking massive action so you can align your mind, body, and spirit to completely transforming your life. You are worthy of the life of your dreams, of stepping into your power and experiencing your breakdown as your breakthrough. Hey, I'm Aditi. I'm your therapist, your coach, your mentor. Join me as we heal your life together. Hi, friends. Welcome back to Therapeutic Life Healing with me. I'm so glad that you're here with me today, wherever you are in the world. If you're going on a walk, if you're laying in bed, I hope that you're well. I hope that you're tending to your heart. I hope that this season, as we near the end of 2020, you spend some time in solitude to reflect on what this year has been like for you, the impact it's had on you and your life, and to take care of yourself, whatever that way looks like for you. I wish you peace in your heart. I wish you calm in your mind, and I wish you renewal in your spirit. I'm really excited for today's episode. I'm going to actually get to interview a dear friend of mine, Shaleah Woods, who is also a mental health therapist. And her and I went to grad school together, and she's someone I look up to in terms of just so many things in life. She's so inspiring. Today specifically, I'm interviewing her because I think you all would be super inspired as you're starting to set your goals for 2021 and starting to think about your intentions and how you want to live your life. And she is someone that over the last couple of years, I've been just admired at how she has committed to a goal that she set in 2018 to center around her health. And it was to commit to working out or moving her body every single day for at least 60 minutes. She committed herself for a full year. She is now 2 years plus into her journey, and she's on day 751. By the time we hear this episode, she's past that number already. And it has been every single day she's gotten up, no matter what, to honor herself, honor her commitment to herself through this goal. And there was something inspiring and powerful about her story. It's someone I know, and she makes it seem possible that whatever it is in your heart to achieve, that you can do it. You can do it. And she shares how she does it. She shares some great stories that I think can stay with you on your hardest days. She's incredible, and I'm so excited for you to be able to take away whatever it is that you will receive from this episode to pour into your own cup, into your own life as you begin to reflect and begin to create what is next for you in your life, my friend. All right, before we dive in, y'all know I love me to shout out where you're listening from, because I feel like we're a global community and it's so fun to hear where folks are tuning in from. So I want to say hello to my friends out in the United States, and specifically we got some dedicated listeners out in California, Michigan, Florida, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Virginia, New Jersey, Texas, Maryland, hey, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Kansas, Massachusetts, I see you, New Mexico, Washington, Utah, Idaho, Oklahoma, Vermont, Kentucky, South Carolina, Alabama, what up, Connecticut, Georgia, Hawaii, hey friends, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Minnesota, Nebraska, Oregon, what's up? Out in Canada, got some loyal listeners continuing to tune in from British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario, out in Australia. We got New South Wales, our friends out in Victoria, and around the world, continuing on to say hello to friends out in the UK, the Netherlands, Austria, Ireland, Poland, Kenya, Belgium, Brazil, Botswana, Guam, Jamaica, Germany, Mexico, Norway, Sweden. I just want to say hello to all my friends. If I didn't say where you're tuning in from, I see you still. I thank you still. And I continue to want to show up for you even harder in 2021. So stay with me, friends. We're going to have an amazing lineup next year of guests and just continuing to show up to serve you in your healing journey, wherever you are. I hope that this podcast inspires you, empowers you, and validates you in every single way. And you share this with a friend, share it with a family member, and leave me a review, send me an email, let me know how this is impacting you, or if you have an idea for a topic. I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email. I leave it all in the show notes, and I appreciate you for being here with me today. Now let's dive in. Hello, friends. Welcome to Therapeutic Life Healing with Adit. I am freaking so excited to have one of my dearest, closest friends on this episode, Shaleah Woods, who is a mental health therapist. She is someone that I look up to on my healing journey, that I am inspired by, that has completely transformed her life in so many ways that I just couldn't wait to have her on this podcast. And she's here today. She's here today to share her story of how she has accomplished her goals. Friend, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited you're here today.
Thank you, friend. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. I'm really glad to be here today to share my story. Again, my name is Shaleah Woods. As you mentioned, I'm a mental health therapist, and I'm here to share my fitness health journey. And fun fact about me is that I'm originally from Michigan. I love to tell people that. And also, one of my hobbies is bowling. I love bowling outside of fitness.
That's right. You are one of the biggest sports fans I know. Like I didn't even know about Michigan and the color like go blue. It's because of you. The biggest fan
Yes.
I know is you. Go blue.
Go blue. Thank you. Thank you for remembering that.
How can I not? You definitely represent them. And Michigan, if you're hearing you, this is your number one fan. You need to call her right now. You get her
Give
on
me
the
some free
squad.
tickets.
Get her a season pass for free. Get her on your squad now.
Thank you.
They would be lucky to have you. I'm just saying. So, friend, your journey has been, I know I've been stalking you about it because I'm your number one fan. But for people who are just hearing you for the first time, can you share a little bit about the background of like, what was your goal for yourself? What were your intentions? Especially, I think people who are, this is like the last episode of 2020, which is so cool to go out with the bang interviewing you because as people are starting to set their intentions for 2021, I think you could be someone who's really inspiring to them to stick with something that you have set your mind to and not to give up no matter what. And that is what your journey is all about.
Thank you, friend. Let's see, how did this all get started? Well, I have struggled with weight for, I don't know, many years throughout my life, whether it's gaining the freshman 15 that maybe turned into the freshman 20, and the ups and downs just of life and coping with stress in different ways. So I've always wanted to feel better, feel healthy, and work on losing weight. Not necessarily to get to a specific number or anything, but just to feel better about the skin that I'm in and how I move throughout life. I was on a trip with family for Thanksgiving, and we were talking about like the new year or thinking about like New Year's resolution, ending that year, and what that would look like. And so, to make a long story short, I was thinking about working on my fitness and working on health because that's something I always think about, but I didn't necessarily do anything about it. It's always like, oh, I'm going to start on Monday. Oh, I'm going to start on the first of the month. Oh, I'm going to start at the beginning of the new year, like New Year's resolutions. That's when I'll start my goal. And I was actually speaking with a friend of mine, and he exercised a lot, and he would wake up every morning and go downstairs and like go to the gym to get his workout in for the day. And I said to him, how do you do this? Right? Like, what makes you get up and be active every day? And he actually said, well, I just realized a while ago that if it's my goal and something that I'm going to work on, then I have to do something about it each day. And I was like, wow, he's right. I've been thinking about working on my fitness and being active, and I don't necessarily do anything about it. It's just the thought. It's the I'll start on Monday. It's the I'll start next year or whatever, just putting it off. After I returned home from that trip, I thought about what my friend said. I thought about our conversation about setting goals and when to start something. And it was leading up to December 1st. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start on December 1st because most people start their goals on January 1st. So I'm going to, like, why waste that time? Like, it's on my mind right now. I'm going to do something different. Every year I would put it off, or I would say, eventually I'll get started on it. So on December 1st, I set the goal that I was going to work out for 60 minutes a day for 365 days. So I said, every day I'm going to walk, or I'm going to run, or I'm going to go to the gym and get on the machine, do something, do a aerobic class, do just some activity for 60 minutes a day. Because the thought behind it is, if I think about my fitness or my weight or working on this goal each day, there's 24 hours in a day. So why not carve out 1 hour for myself to work towards this goal? So that's how I got started. I thought to myself, you know what? I can do this. If I'm continuing to think about it and I really want this for myself, I want to feel better about my health, then I have to carve out time to do it.
Friend, you're like this walking quote right now in my brain, because the quote is, knowledge is power, but knowledge in action is the real power, right?
Mhm,
Knowledge is potential power. Like, we have the potential. We know working out every day, eating well, or whatever we can, we know those things are good for us and can get us, if we have a fitness goal, that it'll get us closer. We all know that, right? We know what we should, be eating. We know we should be moving our body more, but then to put it and apply it and put into action. And this is why I think you're amazing to interview, because I have looked up to you since you started, and you have had hard days. You have
mhm,
had challenges. You have had to work crazy hours, and other things in life are happening too. Even in 2020, that's been a shit show.
mhm.
Like, you have done and stuck to this goal of moving your body every single day for 60 minutes. Like, my jaw just drops to the floor, because that for me is more about a mindset. Like, knowledge, again, is potential power, but knowledge and action, that's like your real power. And that is what you possess. You're a walking example of like what is possible, what is true if we actually put our mind to it. And it's easier said than done. So what I want to know, and what people are probably wondering too, and I still I'm like in awe of, is like, how did you still stick to that even on your hardest day, when life hits you, when something didn't go your way, when we have a fun story that I'm so excited to share, when you don't even have your sports bra on, and you show up and your coach is ready to have you do drills, but you don't have a sports bra on, you still show up. And that's a true story, friends. That happened to her, and she still showed up. Number 1, can you start with that story? And then, like, how did you build that mindset up to keep going no matter what? What kept you going?
Friend, the story is probably the best part of this answer, but um, basically, I'm going to start with the story. So on day 333 of this journey, Again, I set it for 1 year, 365 days, was the initial goal. I work out with the personal trainer 2 days a week. A friend that I know from bowling, which I shared is my hobby. He's also a personal trainer. So every day I had a lot going on throughout the first year of this journey, whether it's working a couple of jobs, attending school throughout the journey as well, working on a certificate. So I would always have to pack a gym bag in order to make sure I get my workout in for the day. So on this one particular day, I packed my gym bag and usually I double check it because I'm a million things going on in my mind sometimes. I usually double check it to make sure I have each item that I need in order for a successful workout. Well, on this particular day, I forgot my sports bra. And as I mentioned, my friend, I know I've known him for a while, but I just thought, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Like I can't work out just one-on-one personal training session with my friend without a sports bra because as I mentioned, I've been working on my weight and I have weight in different areas. And so I have large breasts. So as a result, I didn't feel comfortable. Well, I thought I wouldn't feel comfortable working out without it. So I said, what do I do? I can't drive all the way home, in LA traffic to get a sports bra and make it back in time for the session. So I said, you know what? I'm going to address this thing head on. So when we arrived for the session, he pulled up, I pulled up, and I said, listen, I almost canceled today because I am missing one important item out of my gym bag. And he's like, what happened? What don't you have? Like your shirt, your shoe. I said, no, my sports bra. I said, I don't have my sports bra. And this is going to be very uncomfortable for me. But I'm just telling you at the beginning of the session that I'm dedicated to this journey. I don't want to miss this session. So I'm going to work out without my sports bra, just a regular bra on. And if it comes to anything jumping, just know like a jumping jack or burpee or anything, I'll be facing the wall as I do it so that everything isn't jumping around in your face. And he said, okay, fine, no worries. So I survived that workout without a sports bra. And it's because I'm dedicated I was dedicated to the journey. And I said I wasn't even going to let a sports bra stop me that day from getting my 60 minutes of exercising.
That's one of my favorite stories, and I remember we would have text back and forth because I was trying to get on your level. I'm like, "I gotta move, my body every day," and I was trying to go on walks, but eventually after day, like, 10, I'm over it. I was like, not today. I'll try again tomorrow." But that's what I want people to remember, like, it's not day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, stop. You're on day what number today? Present moment?
Today is day 751.
751 days straight, showed up. You were like my hero. Showed up no matter what, sports bra, no sports bra, shoes, no shoes, pandemic, no pandemic, like showed up 60 minutes no matter what. Now, some people are, I mean, including myself, are like, yeah, that's that. I don't know how she does that. But I think even if people can grasp like a little bit of like how you do it, even on your toughest day, what kept you going, and they can incorporate it into whatever their goal is for them. Cause for me, I'm like, for me, it's not realistic to move every day for 60 minutes. I can't even put myself up to that. Maybe one day, but even if
Mhm,
I can 5 days a week get to that consistency, like, I want that. So whatever
mhm.
someone is, maybe trying, how can we get into your brain and, like, understand how you got to 751 days no matter what, no excuses showing up? How did you get through it on the hard days?
So, friend, let me go back. What you just said, actually, you said shoes, no shoes, and I actually want to share another little story. Early on in this journey, I actually took a road trip with some friends of ours to Vegas, and I actually forgot my workout shoes. I try to pack light usually, so I probably said, "Oh, I'll just take one pair of shoes," not thinking about, no, you actually need workout shoes to do your 60 minutes. So to make a long story short, I worked out for 2 days in my Converse. Normally I wear gym shoes, but Converse are more like walking shoes versus like an actual athletic like gym shoe. And I actually so I went to the hotel gym, and got on the treadmill, and that didn't work very well for my feet, but again, I was determined. It was like day 8 maybe, and I said, "Oh, man, I don't have my shoes. What do I do? Do I put it off and, push the journey or, push the start date back and it's not official?" And I said, "No. I'm gonna work out. I can walk on a treadmill. I can do sit-ups, I can do something to move my body for 60 minutes in non-gym shoes." So that was funny you said shoes, no shoes, because I didn't have the proper shoes to work out and I still managed to get through it. So basically, I feel like whatever the obstacle that comes up that day or whatever is, happening in life, I still it's challenging to kind of put into words because I just basically I told myself I was going to do this and this is what I did. I said that no matter what happens, something is always going to come up, right? There you might not have shoes, you might not have a sports bra. We're in a pandemic. No gyms open right now. So what do? I can walk, thankfully, I'm able to walk. God has blessed me with being able to walk. So I can walk, I can run outside, I can sometimes I go downstairs in my apartment building because I'm on the second floor. I'll turn on a YouTube video and do that video near in the parking lot, basically. So I'm not jumping up and down and making noise for my neighbors. I just always put this journey first and that's putting myself first. So I made this commitment to myself that I would put in 60 minutes a day, whether it's like I said, dance party, walking, like any 6 minutes, 60 minutes that I can come up with a workout to keep myself active. I do it. We try Soul Cycle. Well, I believe you like spinning and I don't, but I said, you know what? That's going to be my workout for today. If friends want to join me for workouts, I do that sometimes. I try to, if anyone is inspired by me sharing pieces of my story, I'll, hey, well, do you want to go together? Do you want to do a workout with me? Those things really motivate me. Talking about the goal, letting people know that this is the goal I set and people checking in with me, you checking in with me, you being inspired by my story. Again, when I first shared it, it was just to more so keep myself accountable by maybe putting a little bit of it out there. And when you reached out, because I do keep a lot to myself when I'm working on goals. But when you reached out, I think I have it, this book. Hopefully, you'll share a little bit about that too. But a book that you made me about the journey. It was on day 215, I believe, that you reached out and said, "Hey, what are you doing? Or what's going on? How's it going? How do you do this every day?" And I have a message that I wrote to you like, "Hey, I don't know how I do it necessarily, but I know that I'm going to do it. I know I'm committed to it, and it's me chipping away at my goal each day."
I don't even have the words to say how impactful and inspiring it is what you do, like what you've done. Cause I think just if people can connect to their own life right now, like what you said, honoring yourself, you put yourself first. Like that is above all else. Like, yeah, you want to be healthy. Yeah, you like we all have a goal. We all have something we want. We all dream about something. But do you honor yourself by putting yourself first and say, this is what I'm doing for me no matter what? And
Mhm,
that's what you're telling us. Like that mindset to say in a society where we're, a lot of us are people pleasers. And I would say women, right? And
mhm,
we as naturally are, we tend to care a lot about others, which is it's a beautiful part of about being a woman.
mhm,
And it can come at your best, like, strength, it can also work against you, right? Because we tend to often always put others then first. And what you're
mhm,
reminding us is, like, no matter what, you still honor yourself, you still put yourself first. I still remember the story you told me of even when you went to a friend's going away event or party, or other events for friends were having, you kept a promise to yourself that you said, by midnight, before midnight, I've gotten a 60-minute workout in. And you would leave at 10 p.m. to make sure that you got in a 60-minute workout before midnight, which meant you left an event early.
Mhm.
You still showed up, you still honored your friend, but you still left early enough to make sure you honored yourself in that day too and your commitment to yourself. That takes fucking commitment, like on another level, in awe of that, inspired by that, motivated by that. Like, I want that.
Mm.
And even the story of like when you travel, like you still went on vacations, you still got yourself in the gym every day, no matter what, 60 minutes. What have you learned about yourself in this process, in this journey? What has it taught you about life? What has it taught you about yourself? What has it taught you about other people? Like, what are you walking away with currently at day 751? Because we're not even talking about something in the past. This is still your life. You're still doing this today. You're going to wake up tomorrow and do it again tomorrow. So what have you learned? What are some takeaways that we can we can again just receive from you?
One of the biggest takeaways, as you mentioned, is just, and as I stated before, is being committed to yourself. If you set a goal, really sticking to that goal, no matter what obstacles can come into play. I've learned that this journey has been inspiring for other people while I'm just trying to, again, work on my health and keep it moving and have that one thing that I can check off each day. Like, hey, you did this working toward this specific goal, a goal that you've had for many years, but maybe never consistently put in the effort. Consistency is very key as well. Because again, the workouts don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have your sports bra. You don't have to have the correct gym shoes. You just have to have the commitment and be consistent, putting yourself first, loving yourself, and continuing to do the work. It's not easy. I've learned, it's not easy. Many things come up, but there will always be a way to push through if you kind of train your mind or like continue to have that positive mindset, encouraging yourself, cheering for yourself to accomplish the goal. I'm on day 751. I don't I even saying that, I actually slowed down the counting a little bit after I reached day, what was it? I believe day 730. I had to count up the days today to see exactly where I was because it's a part of my routine now. It's just something that I know, as you mentioned, I'm going to wake up and do it tomorrow. I don't know what tomorrow's activity will look like, but I know there will be 60 minutes of activity. And I'll be very honest, I also was motivated about running to a specific acai berry food truck. So I just look for little things that seem to be really silly to me, but little things to note to motivate me in order to push through. Some days it's, maybe I'm going to a friend's gathering and I know that if I don't get my workout in at the start of my day, then I won't be like, I don't have time to do it later. Or as you shared, because I'm committed to the goal, I'll go to the gathering and say, hey, listen, I'm working on this goal, friend. My goal is to get this done by midnight each day, 60 minutes of activity. So as a result, I'll leave an event early if I have to. If it's really just being committed to the goal. I've just learned that, you can really do anything if you put your mind to it. If you put in the hard work and dedication, having friends to hold you accountable, to root for you, check in with you. Hey, friend, what day are you on? I can't tell you how many times that really pushed me through the next workout. Being able to share my story with someone of setting this goal and people, you rooting me on. In the beginning, I would text a few people to say, "Hey, this is what day I'm on," or "Hey, here's the day and here's a check mark." I include you in on these text messages too. Here's a check mark of what day I'm on and the fact that I completed my activity for today. So accountability, just consistency, putting yourself first. It's so many, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but so many things, little silly things like running to get a treat at the end of my exercise. All those things really motivated me to keep going, even on the hard days.
Okay, friends. So another question for you is how did you notice this goal that you've achieved, right? 751 days committed to this goal that you had on your fitness journey. How did it eventually impact the rest of your life? Other goals you had set, other things you had in mind? How did you notice it impact you in other ways? I think when we master one thing, when we begin to really incorporate a goal and it's no longer even a goal, it's just a lifestyle. It's just what you do. How has it helped in other ways and other goals that you've set yourself up for?
Accomplishing this goal has helped me in other ways with other goals by being consistent, speaking things into existence, and then having a support team to help you be accountable towards reaching the goal. So another huge goal I've been working on is like saving money to get my own place, like to purchase my own place. And if anybody has ever saved any money, they know that it can be very challenging. But you have to chip away at it a little, putting some away, paycheck by paycheck or, day by day, looking at that process and keeping in mind the bigger goal in order to really work towards reaching that goal. So, by me being consistent and chipping away at the initial goal of 365 days, 60 minutes of activity, I really learned how to be consistent and make that a part of my mindset and routine day in and day out. So, with other goals, I read over my goals mostly daily, and if not daily, at least a couple times a week, and continuing to remind myself of why I'm doing something, what I'm working towards, and what the bigger picture is at the end. So, why am I making these sacrifices of, cutting corners here and there day by day? Maybe I'm not going to eat out today, or I'm not going to go shopping today. Those are things that have helped me with saving and being able to reach a huge goal that I've been working towards, which is getting my own place. But it's just really that you have to keep your goals kind of at the forefront of your mind. And as long as you're like continuing to think about those things, and it can spill over into your daily interactions, because what sometimes I say this, it's a little corny, but I say, how do you eat an elephant, right? You can't just eat it in one huge bite. You would have to chip away at it piece by piece by piece by piece in order to eventually accomplish that goal. So it can seem so huge, maybe sometimes unattainable, but if you break it down into small pieces and really work at it day by day by day, or think about it day by day by day, it'll allow you to eventually get closer and meet your goal and exceed your goal. I'm going on day 752 tomorrow. That means, as we have this interview for this podcast, I accomplished today already, but I'm thinking about tomorrow and the next workout and the next one after that, whether it's, planning ahead by checking the weather or checking to see, what will be a good day to go to certain areas to be active, like go to the beach or go to just different areas in the community in order to reach this goal. So just really wrapping my mind around the goal, breaking it into smaller steps, and keeping the big picture in mind. Why am I doing this? Oh, I'm doing this because I was committed to myself to be active 60 minutes a day to work on a bigger goal of being healthy. Why am I saving money? Well, I know eventually I want to have my own place. So I know that little by little, I have to make small sacrifices or take small steps to put money to the side in order to reach the bigger goal. So I think it's just really taught me that I have to work on it daily and remind myself of these things daily and tell myself that, anything is possible. You can do this. You accomplish the initial goal of 365 days. I can accomplish the next goal of, whether it's buying a place to live, whether it's, traveling somewhere or just any goal you come up with, breaking it up into smaller pieces, keeping a positive mindset, even on the bad days, reminding yourself that this is just today. This is a one bad day, one bad moment. But the bigger picture is being able to accomplish that goal and knowing that it takes consistency, hard work, dedication, and sacrifice.
I'm telling you, this is going to be your story on a stage one day. It's cool to look back because you started that in 2018 and we're in 2020. So 2 years, like looking back, like it's helped you even in 2 years now, like working on your next goal, right? You initially dedicated yourself to one thing,
Mhm,
one goal, committed to that one thing. So whoever's listening, like commit to your one thing.
mhm,
Don't, like you said, I love that analogy. Don't try to eat the whole elephant. Don't try to do 20 goals, and we set ourselves up and we shoot ourselves in the foot because then we don't attain anyone. You were like, no, I'm gonna stick to this one health goal. And
mhm.
then after a year, we'll see what happens. And you just now you're on to the next because your initial goal is now you're just your lifestyle. It's just your day to day. That's like moved on to the next thing and you see the impact. So for folks listening, just stick to the one thing and ask yourself, what did I do well today? What can I do better tomorrow? And that's what I hear you say, like, what did I do well today? What can I do better tomorrow? And just keep going because the day to day, we don't see it add up. But then when you look back and as we're reflecting to look back 2 years, you can see, damn, like
Mhm.
I did 700 and like I doubled, tripled my goal, my initial goal. Now on to the next,
Mhm.
and then that's how you eat the elephant. I love that
Mhm.
analogy. That's how you eat the elephant. You break it up.
Yes, break up the elephant. I love how it is a lifestyle. You said it's my lifestyle now, and I think that's why earlier on too, I kind of forgot exactly when I started because I'm sort of past that point, but it's still a daily goal. So yes, it started December 1st of 2018. Day 751 was completed today. So it's been over 2 years, and it's a lifestyle. I don't I think about it as my daily goal, but I don't necessarily think about it as in like, well, when did this journey actually start? I had to reflect on it and calculate the days because it's for me right now, it's not even a question. I know that by midnight each day I will do 60 minutes of activity. It's not a thought. It's the lifestyle that I create new habits and make other goals a part of my lifestyle.
And the other thing, friend, that I really loved about what you did, and I would love for listeners to also take notice of how you did this. You removed the shame in the days that I remember we were texting one day, and mine is like hot Cheetos. Something about those damn hot Cheetos. Like I just like have this. They got me. They got me good. And for
Mhm,
you was the cookies. So we would text, and I'm like, friend, I'm going for the bag. And you're like, it's okay, just go do a walk either before or after and have the bag. Like there was something I think we've been as women also just shamed so much that makes us forget the whole goal completely.
mhm,
That like the whole day is ruined. Then I messed up. Like it's just black and white thinking, right? It's just like if I did it wrong, then everything else is just screwed up. The whole day, my whole plan out the window. But what you actually taught me was like it's okay. Like, talk to yourself kindly and just say, "Okay, I'm gonna do better tomorrow, but I'm still gonna go on my walk today. I'm not gonna shame myself for having this cookie. I had this cookie. I had this hot Cheeto. It is what it is. Keep it moving. Don't
mhm,
sit there and dwell on it."
mhm,
And I love that because I think we do that a lot. We do shame ourselves. So I don't know if you could speak a little bit to like your self-talk.
mhm. Removing the shame is so important, friend. Acknowledging that, you'll have bad days. Cookies are is my go-to. I know you like hot Cheetos. And it's not to say that, I can't have these things or we can't have our cookies or a bad moment, as you mentioned, is enough to throw out what you've been working on or the entire goal or accomplishment. Push through those bad days. So, hey, I'm going to have cookies today. Okay, that's fine, but how am I going to still work towards reaching the goal? Because if I eat cookies and, sitting on the couch or in the bed and, maybe it's just not a good day, that's not going to help me with working on accomplishing the goal. So if you eat the cookies, that's fine. But did you move your body still? Because if you still got up and moved your body, you're still making progress towards the goal. Actual message in the book that you made me, and it says basically, I mentioned how I set my alarm sometimes in the morning to get up to do the workout first thing in the morning. But there are days where I'm tired first thing in the morning and I'm not able to get up and have that motivation to do the workout first because maybe there's some other things I need to work on. And sometimes I slap the alarm off, but I just tell myself, well, there's still 24 hours in a day. Okay, I didn't get up and do the 6 a.m. workout. And before the pandemic, maybe I had to get to work by 8. So if I don't get up and do it at 6, then that's not going to happen. I have to move forward with my day and pack that gym bag, whether there's a sports bra in it or not, and still do the workout. So basically, in this message, it talks about that. I slap my alarm off some days. I eat cookies some days. I eat pizza or whatever it is, but I don't beat myself up about it. I'm still kind. I still tell myself that these cookies or this morning workout that didn't happen doesn't mean that a workout won't happen by the end of the day. I just have to reframe how I look at the day, remind myself of the goal, remind myself of steps that I can still take to accomplish that goal, whether it's moving it to an afternoon workout, whether it's, okay, I ate the cookies, but then I still went for a 60-minute walk, or I did a 60-minute dance video, or attended a class before the pandemic. There's still an opportunity to make progress towards the goal. What you feel like fall off track, for that day or in that moment, there's still an opportunity to work at it little by little. So maybe it's not a 60-minute run, it's a 60-minute walk or a dance party or being creative. That's another important piece. Be creative. That's a huge step in still being able to do the work. It's your journey. No one can tell you how to do it. No one told me how to make sure that I accounted for 60 minutes of activity per day. I just said I'm going to do it, and I figured it out along the way. If it involved, you know, uh, working out with someone, working out by myself, sitting in a car. This is another story I believe I've shared with you before. Is that I would drive to the gym and have to maybe sit in the car for a few minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes it depends on how much time I had to talk myself into this is the goal that you set. This is what you want to accomplish. Get up out of the car, grab your bag, put your clothes on, basically get your butt in the gym. If this is what you want to do, you're here, do it. So, really just having retraining or reframing my thoughts, my mind, like using positive messages and stories that have inspired me to get out there and do what I want to do to accomplish the goal.
One of my favorite lines that you said that to this day I still tell myself on days that I need to motivate myself to get up and move my body because I always feel better afterwards and I'm
Mhm.
glad I did it. You would say, just put your clothes on and run out the door. Just put your clothes on and don't think about it, run out the door. And I can't tell you how many times that line has saved me because it inspired me and pushed me because I literally did that. I'm like, put your shoes on and run out the door. Don't think about it because when you think about it for too long, I can easily talk myself out of doing something. So I think for folks listening is like paying attention to whatever your goal is. But like, actually, you really inspired us, like with whatever our goal is, to one, honor ourselves,
Mhm.
honor, it's more honoring yourself more than anything, putting yourself first, saying, yes, I am worthy of this time, this energy to the thing I'm committing myself to, that no matter what, no excuses. Every single day, I can chip away at this goal no matter what. Shoes on, bra off, like run out the door. This is going to get done. That commitment, that consistency. And three, that like, that power of connection and being able to be held accountable, I think is another helpful key ingredient, telling other people, to share like what you're doing. So you need all of those ingredients to really make this whatever goal or wish you have for yourself, this dream, to make it happen. That removing the shame, that encouragement, that accountability. Just get your shoes and run out the door. Like, get your shoes, run out the door.
Mhm.
Friend, so inspired by you. I would love for folks to hear a little bit about one, where they can find you, connect with you. If someone has a question for you, if they would just want to connect with you, where they can find you. And two, what's one last thing that's on your heart that hasn't been said that you want to leave listeners with?
So you can find me on Instagram, and my handle is my name, Shaleah, but the handle is Shaleah W on Instagram. That's the first time I've ever said that. But that's usually where I share bits and pieces of my journey. And I think the last thing that is on my heart to say is just keep swimming. It doesn't matter how you get there, just don't give up. It's your journey. No one can tell you, how to make it perfect. It won't be perfect. You'll have ups and downs. But I remember along the way, I actually ended up getting a mantra band that reminded me to just keep swimming, like just keep going. There'll be days where it doesn't feel right, or you don't feel good, or you don't have the motivation. But remember the goal, stay true to yourself. You deserve to do it for yourself, to push through, to accomplish your goal. What's for you is for you. Set your mind to it. Positive self-talk, come up with the mantra. For me, is just keep swimming, or just don't quit, or do what you said you were going to do. So if you set this goal, be consistent, make a plan, make a plan B, because sometimes plan A doesn't always work. But whatever you do, just keep swimming and you'll get to your goal.
I love you so much. I just, oh God, I love you so much. I'm so lucky to have you in my life, being inspired by you. Even today. I went for a walk and then I told myself I'm gonna run because I just thought of you, and I'm like, Shaleah does it, I could do it. You just show what's possible, and I just admire you. I'm lucky I get to call you a friend. And I just know that this episode will touch the women that, and the men, who I don't know who's listening, whoever God intended to hear this episode is what we trust will land with them, and to take away a piece of what is possible that you have done and put it and apply it into their own lives. Thank you for listening. Thank you, friend, for being here. I love you so much. Day 752 tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. Thank you, friend. Thank you for having me. Thank you for listening, listeners. I look forward to connecting to anyone who wants to hear more about the journey. And thank you for doing this, friend. You're touching many lives by sharing your story and bringing people on to share their journey about how we manage this crazy thing called life.
Amen to that. I love you, friend.
I
And I'm
love
going to
you
have
too.
your Instagram handle in the show notes. Go check her out, send her a DM, tell her how you're just running out that house, shoes, no shoes, and let her know what you're up to and how she's doing it. Thank you, friend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, friends, for tuning into today's episode. If you have some time, please take a moment to subscribe to the podcast and to leave a review. The review helps connect to more listeners from around the world to find this episode and find this podcast. So thank you for taking time to leave a review. If you want to dive deeper into your healing journey, go ahead and reach out to me and schedule your free 15-minute consultation. Wherever you are in the world, we can set up a virtual session online, and it's confidential. And whatever you're experiencing, whether it's a breakdown, a breakup, a life transition, you just need a little bit of accountability, whatever it is, you can reach out to me and we can have either one breakthrough session, or we can set up a package plan and set you up with some individual coaching sessions to help you along the way in your healing journey. Reach out hello@aditc.com. It's also in the show notes. I provide individual therapeutic life healing coaching sessions to women from all over the world through virtual sessions. I also have a virtual therapeutic master course that you can enroll now and start today in the comfort of your own home. It's on my website, aditc.com. Just click on the service tab and click on virtual masterclass and check it out. You can see a preview of the introduction and get a taste for what the 3-week course will look like with the entire curriculum that you can view online and see if it's for you. Feel free to email me if you have questions, and I wish you so much joy, so much fun, and so much healing in your journey. Thank you, friends, for being here. Stay safe, stay blessed.